This is The Culture.
Hello, everybody, and welcome back to the Cinema Wave podcast, where this is a very short episode. I don't even consider this really an episode. We're giving you a news tidbit, a reaction, actually, to the Acolyte trailer that dropped today as of this recording. The new show for streaming for Star Wars. I am one of your hosts. My name is Darian Scalamoni. I am with my Star Wars aficionado, Mark Iacobino.
Yes. How are you, man?
We've been talking about this because we actually did an episode. It was last month? Was it February?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, so back in February, we tried to do basically a look forward to Star Wars and to see where they're at. And we compared a little bit to Marvel and where Marvel's at. And since then, I think both brands had a little bit of momentum. Marvel had the Deadpool trailer at the Super Bowl, which sort of changed things for them a little bit.
Yeah.
The Fantastic Four reveal. Star Wars now, we officially get something real and legitimate, and we get the first official trailer. Now, we were talking about this off camera. It's more of a teaser because it's a little under 2 minutes. But you do get visuals of every character, I'm pretty sure.
And there's a lot of them.
And there's a lot of them.
Characters.
So what was your initial reaction to The Acolyte?
Yeah, so this trailer was something I've been anticipating. It's my most anticipated Star Wars show just from the concept of it. So I've seen parts of this trailer because part of this trailer was shown at Star Wars Celebration back in April, and I saw it through a phone camera. But now we have the official version, and there's some new tidbits that they added here, but the same vibe of the trailer was there, and just seeing it fully realized, the sets, the lived-in sets, not the volume, all the different alien and Jedi characters, the mystique that was laced throughout this trailer, and then, of course, just a trailer and show based around Jedi and Force wielders. They delivered on that promise. I think it's really exciting. It's something we haven't really seen in live action in Star Wars before. So I'm really excited. I think this trailer did exactly what I wanted it to do, and I already got my theories going. So I'm curious what you thought as a not Star Wars aficionado.
Yeah, so I'm the casual Star Wars fan of this. But I was intrigued. I was intrigued as soon as I heard what the concept for the show was, and the fact that Leslye Headland was attached to it, which we talked about a little bit on that podcast, where she comes from a background of show running Russian Doll, which was like a very weird, trippy, sort of dark comedy, but also dramatic show on Netflix with Natasha Lyonne. So the fact that they ended up choosing her vision for this and giving her the reins in the show apparently cost a lot of money. They didn't apparently use either very little or no volume at all. So
Love it.
Practical locations, which we love. I mean, I've talked endlessly about how much I love it on Andor. So that, excuse me, that excites me. But the vibe, it was just tonally darker, which I sort of like. I didn't think I was like this, but I sort of lean that way in Star Wars now. I feel like I'd rather see something like that. I do think that certain shows can exist outside of that with the wondrous sort of element of Star Wars. Like I like the first season of Mando and how that was kind of not on the darker path, so to speak. It dealt with some darker themes, but they did it in a lighter way. While Andor was, again, like very grounded, very gritty. And this feels like it could be something similar. What I'm interested in is sort of exploring that High Republic era, because I have no exposure to it. I didn't read a single book. I am aware of the initiative that Lucasfilm is going through, that they want to really establish the High Republic as this whole new era to explore within Star Wars, which I think is a good thing, because they need to sort of get away from the Skywalker stuff.
They do.
So I was intrigued by that, and I was intrigued by a lot of the performers that are going to be in the show, because it's people that you wouldn't necessarily see them and be like, I associate you with, you could be in Star Wars, but a lot of them seem to be fitting the mold in the trailer.
Yeah, it is a really great cast, and I like how diverse it is with aliens and humans. And I like what you said about, maybe more of a grittier vibe, but I do think there is that wondrous aspect of it. I think in the opening of the trailer, when we see the Padawans meditating, of course, at the end, the Padawan's like, I see fire. So, bad things are going to happen. But I do think with a show set around Jedi and force-wielding characters, I do think there's really a great opportunity to do those deeper meditative moments of exploring the Force, exploring the dark and the light side of the Force, because we know the Sith and the dark side are going to be a very big aspect of this show. We see it at the end of the trailer. We see it with this assassin throughout the trailer. So I'm really excited for that aspect of it. And then I want to talk about the performers. We talked a little bit off camera. I haven't seen Squid Games. I think I'm the only person on earth that hasn't seen Squid Games. But the main actor, the main character that we're introduced here in the trailer, I think his name's Master Soul, they've revealed. I don't know the actor's name.
Mm-hmm.
What did you think of them bringing in an actor that doesn't natively speak English to a English-speaking role leading a series on Disney Plus?
Yeah, so his name is Lee Jung-jae. He's really, really good in Squid Game. I gave the honest answer off camera. I will give it to the fans as well. I do think that part of it is Disney wanting to be in the same bed with someone that is associated with Squid Game. Though he is a handsome, younger actor that seems to be fitting the mold of Jedi well in the trailer. I will say that. He does a lot of narration in the trailer, and I didn't mind that at all. What I was really excited by, though, and I think a lot of it, I shouldn't say all of it's going to rest on her or their shoulders, but Amandla Stenberg. They are someone that is going to be significant because their role in this show is being the person that is turned to the dark side. And you talked a little bit about how Leslye Headland has said multiple times in many interviews now, like, this show is going to deal with what happens when you go to the dark side. If you're someone that trains in the Force and then you decide to go down that dark path that other people in the franchise have gone down. And I think there's going to be a lot on their acting ability to get people to sort of flip. Yep. And I'm interested to see that dynamic. And my favorite part of the trailer was when they come into the bar and they're dealing with, I forget her name too, the actress from The Matrix.
Yeah, you're the
Carrie
actor
Anne-Moss.
person.
Carrie Anne-Moss, I got
you're
it.
The actor person.
The interaction with Carrie Anne-Moss and how it had like a Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon vibe, which I really enjoyed. Like, the choreography looks pretty cool based on the way they're utilizing the Force, but it happens in the quick cuts and things like that.
Sure.
But there are a lot of really good character actors that are in this show, which excites me because it comes from that same level of like getting to see someone like Eben on Andor as like a side character, but someone that felt fully immersed in the world because he's such a great actor. He's such a great performer.
I think Star Wars has a superpower to do that with character actors that not a lot of people don't know, but when they're in Star Wars, you kind of don't know who they are, and then they're in Star Wars, you're like, oh, I love this. This makes a lot of sense. So,
I mean, dude, Circus in Andor as Kino Loy.
Circus in Andor, Stellan Skarsgård just being Luthen, just like, I mean,
can't wait for Andor to come back.
Nick Nolte as a little guy in season 1 of Mando, like, just like character actors. Yes,
no, for sure. But the acting talent is there, the creative talent is there. Leslye Headland definitely did a good job selling me more of a casual on what she's trying to portray with this show. I want to see a little bit more. I want to kind of break down the imagery a little bit more. I've only watched the trailer once, like literally right before we recorded this, because I wanted to give an honest reaction. But I'm stoked for it. We're gonna cover it on the channel. It comes out June 4th.
June 4th, 2-episode premiere, so pretty
Exciting.
meaty. I'm thinking like 2 45-minute episodes.
Did they say how many episodes this is supposed to be?
No, I'll say 8 because that's the safe answer with Star Wars. But Andor, they did 12, and Andor was all shot practically without the volume, so there's a possibility they give them a little bit more leeway with the amount of episodes. But 2-episode premiere. I want to bring up one thing that Leslye Headland did say also that I really loved. She said they had one writer in the writer's room that didn't watch Star Wars at all. So they were simply there to be, I guess, skeptical and question the story and not be so tied to the lore and the canon of Star Wars. And that just makes for a better script because, as we've talked about, sometimes Star Wars falls back on the member berries and like, oh, remember this person. So I'm really excited that she has that foresight to say, no, we're just going to tell a good story in the Star Wars galaxy. And that also feeds into the fact that they're doing a unexplored era in live action in the High Republic. I know you're excited for the High Republic. Unfortunately, this is the tail end of the High Republic on the Star Wars timeline. I think this story, especially the end of the trailer when we see the Sith show up and he blasts away all of the Jedi, Masters and Apprentice. When I saw that, I was like, this has to be like Darth Plagueis that we hear about in Revenge of the Sith and who becomes Palpatine's master. Like, that, to me, makes a lot of sense. It sets him up. The timeline kind of makes sense. And to be able to do that to that many Jedi at one time takes a lot.
Yeah.
And I'm not a power fantasy Star Wars person. Like, I don't want like crazy, power and force stuff. But to me, I think that would be fitting way to kind of introduce this new era of Star Wars. So,
Yeah, and a character that's beloved and people have been wanting to see on screen.
exactly. So I don't know if you'll get a lot of High Republic that you might be asking for, but I think the iconography will be there. We see the gold robes, we see the yellow lightsabers, and I think in some points in the trailer we see flashbacks to a younger Master Soul, the Squid
Lee
Game guy.
Jung-jae,
We see younger flashbacks of him, so I think we'll be able to actually jump back into maybe deeper pieces of the High Republic. That's just something I picked up on in the trailer. So.
I'm hoping for, I'm going to be honest, I want this to be a limited series.
Yeah.
I want it to be 10 episodes.
Yeah.
And I want a lot of people to die.
Yep.
And I think that's going to happen. So I do want to prepare Star Wars fans, if you're not aware of that, like that's a rumor. Like there's going to be a lot of people you might fall in love with that might be gone by the end of the show.
I want it. I mean, the poster, the blood on the lightsaber. I mean, you never see blood in Star Wars.
Yeah.
And the fact that they were like, no, we're gonna put this at the forefront. I think that says a lot.
That's good. They might be shifting our mentalities.
Come on.
I like it.
Come on.
So, guys, that was our reaction, our genuine reaction, and a little bit of a commentary on the first trailer, official trailer for The Acolyte. Like Mark had said, it comes out June 4th on Disney+. We're going to be covering it on the channel week by week. We'll start with the 2-episode premiere that week when it comes out. Also, if you guys don't, be sure to follow Mark's channel, Star Wars Mark of Balance. He covers strictly all Star Wars stuff on there. And then we're lucky enough to have him in his presence for Star Wars stuff here at Culture Wave.
I'm the lucky guy. I'm the lucky one.
Just signing off, guys. I am Darian Scalamoni.
I'm Mark Jacobino.
And we'll see you guys next time.